You're now entering the city of the Crimson Tower. When we last left our 5, again I hesitate to call you all heroes, but our 5 wanderers, you had followed the plea of 2 children in the streets of a strange town that you'd never been in before, called Bridgewater, and they begged you for help, saving their younger brother Walter and their parents. And so you entered their house, a house you had previously not even noticed was there, and began to investigate. You quickly headed up to the 3rd floor, where you found the nursemaid suite. And the nursemaid, but no longer living. And Walter was nowhere to be found. Heading up to the attic, you discovered the bodies of the 2 children who had implored you. And it was with their assistance that you found an entryway to the basement, where Rosa, the oldest of the 2 children, told you the mother, whose name you later learned, or earlier learned actually, was Elizabeth Durst, had taken baby Walter. And so down you went, the creaking sound of the floorboards eventually being overpowered by the sound of ghostly chanting. And it was this chanting that you followed through this level of the basement, where you found family crypts, some empty, some occupied in disturbing ways. You found a dining room littered with bones of humanoid creatures that Gloria and Karina were able to determine had marks on them created by something akin to a steak knife. Hawthorne found a musty journal that seemed to be logging sacrifices of some sort, or at least deaths of individuals. And the final entry read that the individual had been fed to Walter. And so, you continued to follow the source of the chanting, Hawthorne quickly and only temporarily falling into a trap that managed to avoid most of the harm of and climb out of. And so, you descended even further, which was unpleasant to think of, considering how long it took you to descend into the basement in the first place. How deep into the earth are you going? But eventually, you did descend even lower, and you found yourselves in a sub-basement of sorts. And it was here that you were able, finally, to make out what the chanting was saying. And you heard over and over again, "She is the ancient. She is the land. Strange items in this reliquary that you all, perhaps intentionally, didn't investigate too deeply. But there was a portcullis, a gate that led into a flooded chamber that seemed to be a ceremonial chamber. And with the combined efforts of Hawthorne and Nyne and supervision by Brawk, very important, were able to lift the portcullis long enough for Karina to duck inside, the water coming up to your shins, after Gloria had, through her powers, repaired the chain mechanism. Karina stepped through, trying to find a way to hold the portcullis open in a more permanent fashion so that Nyne and Hawthorne didn't have to bear the weight for too long. But as soon as Karina stepped into this flooded altar room, the chanting that you had been hearing this whole time stopped. It is now eerily quiet, aside from the sound of sloshing and dripping water. You don't realize how quickly you become used to a sound until it's gone. And that chanting that had been following you since you descended into the basement makes its absence known. And so, with Gloria and Brawk still on the other side of the portcullis, Nyne and Hawthorne underneath it supporting it, and Karina having just stepped inside this room, we return. This chamber that you are in has smooth masonry walls. It's about a 40-foot square room, and the acoustics in here are excellent. Your breathing, as you support this weight of the portcullis, echoes off of these walls. The splashing as Karina attempts to find a way to hold the portcullis open echoes and reverberates. There are featureless stone pillars that support the ceiling down here, murky water covering most of the floor. There are dry stone ledges that hug the wall of this 40-foot chamber, only about 4 feet wide each. And there are stairs that lead up to those stone ledges, so it is possible to be in this room and be dry. In the middle of the room, more stairs rise to form an octagonal dais that also rises above the water. And you're able to see now, and you weren't able to see it when you were looking through the portcullis, that there are rusty chains that hang from the ceiling here. They dangle directly above the stone altar. And the altar itself is carved with hideous depictions. Grasping ghouls, and it is stained. You can see, Karina, with dried blood all over it. From right here, because you are focused on trying to find a way to hold the portcullis open, right now that's all you can currently see. It is also quite dark in here. Aside from the illumination provided by your flashlights, which occasionally flicker and you have to... But that's all you can currently make out. So Karina, when we left, you were attempting to find a way to hold the portcullis open. What are you looking for? Are you looking for something to place underneath the portcullis? Or are you looking for a way to, jam the chains and keep it held open that way?
I'm looking for something more along the line of the actual mechanism to keep the portcullis open, as you would assume there would be one.
Absolutely. I'm going to say that even without a notice check, that on the right, from your position, left side, near one of the sets of stairs that leads up to the dry ledge, you find a classic wheel and chain that can be cranked and lifted. And with Hawthorne and Nyne currently having lifted the portcullis a little bit, the chain has some slack to it because they lifted it instead of the device. But that is there.
then she will go there to lock the device so then they don't have to have that weight on their shoulders any longer than necessary.
You pull back on this wheel, and you can feel as the gears, you can feel the clunk, 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 clunk as you pull back on it, and it locks each time. You also see a small additional lever to the right of it that you surmise is probably pulled to quickly unlock it and have it drop back down. But as you pull back on the wheel, Hawthorne and Nyne, you feel the weight of the portcullis lessen slightly.
Ethan, can I either use a rope to tie that release lever upward so it's at least a little bit more difficult to close, or is there a way I can possibly disable it?
What skill would that be? Let's take a look here really quick.
Perhaps knowledge.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That is a fair skill. So go ahead and make me I guess that would be common knowledge check.
I don't remember how to use these, I'm sorry.
You have a D4 in common knowledge, and since it's one of the 5 core ones, you don't have a penalty for being untrained in it. So it's a trait roll. You would roll a D4 and your D6 wild die.
Okay, that's only a 3.
3? It's not... There's nothing that you find at the moment to, tie it to. And you make several attempts with what you have, which at the moment is very little, I'll remind you. You also don't have a ton on your person. So based off of just what you have the idea for, I need to jam this to make it so it can't come back down, but you're not able to work out with what you have how to do it.
Alrighty.
Hawthorne has been rubbing his shoulders because it's been really tough. Looks over at Katrina and goes, hey, I got a rope, but you need a rope? I got a rope on me.
I mean, if you want to try to loop this onto something, I didn't really see anything we could connect it to. I just don't want somebody to release it and trap us down here.
I'm pretty sure we're the only ones down here that's alive, hopefully.
She's got a good point. Is there no other way out of this room? And are we assuming that every other way is going to be a bad way? So this is our only way in and out. Well, let's figure out how to ensure that we can get out of this room. So I'm all for using this rope to do it any way that we need to.
Well, do you think maybe instead of trying to tie it up, is there something we could wedge under?
I do have this fire poker we could potentially use.
Maybe we could try to, prop it up?
But and the puddle, because there's water, right?
Oh, it's not a puddle.
Oh,
it's a
lots
foot and a half of water that covers most of this 40 by 40 foot room.
He's holding Brawk is holding his jacket up. Have we not thought about the possibility that this gate is keeping something in there that needs to maybe stay in there?
I hadn't thought about that.
Well,
Hawthorne, Karina, and Nyne, because Brawk and Gloria have not said that they've moved into the chamber. The three of you who are in there, which of you do you think is looking around at the moment? Nyne. Okay. Nyne, you notice this first. You noticed all those things about this chamber that I described. The dry walkways around the edges, the stairs leading up to the central dais, the chains that dangle over it. But you also notice a few more things. On top of the dais, there's a shape, small. So small. That looks like a small white bundle. You also see that surrounding this white bundle of cloth or blanket, there are pulsating, fleshy tendrils that run up the dais and down it. And you, with dark vision, follow it with your eyes, and you see that the tendrils run into the water. You lose sight of them for a little bit, but you follow the general direction. And you notice a breach in the far wall opposite of where you are that leads to a dark cave. The walls around this breach are covered in thicker versions of these tendrils, pulsing, undulating, oozing, their fleshy masses connecting to something in that breach, in that hole in the wall. You can't make out what it is, but it's big. And one of the reasons you can't make out what it is because it's slightly amorphous in its shape. But you can see as you watch, and your eyes can't help but linger on it for just a moment, even though from here it's barely a silhouette. You watch as this bloated mass rises and falls in a slow, shuddering rhythm.
Now, this all happens while they're arguing or they're talking about what to do with the fire poker, and
You take all this in about 10 seconds.
No problem. Hey.
Yeah, what's up?
Shh, stop talking.
What?
Look. Shh.
What?
Look, I think I found Walter, but, and he's whispering this to he's whispering at this point. I think I found Walter. But,
What are you saying? I can't hear you.
all right, everyone come. Sorry, Angel. Everyone come back here. Quietly.
I don't want to step in the water.
No, don't step in the water. You two stay there. You two come with me now. Move.
I think we all should just get the hell out of this place.
Look. We're gonna just move back. Look. Right there. Walter's up there on that fucking pedestal shit. Okay? But there's something else there. There's like fucking weird tendrils and shit, and they're around him. Now, there's some stairwells that go up to the top of that place. But there's a hole down there. And where the rest of the tendrils are, or tentacles, what the fuck you want to call them, it's fucking breathing. Okay.
No. Absolutely not. Mm-mm.
Hawthorne has already started walking through under the gate. Hawthorne has left the area.
So the whole group had walked back into the reliquary, so to speak, out of the flooded ritual chamber. So where do you go, Hawthorne? Do you start heading back upstairs? Or do you stay down here?
Wasn't there almost like so there's pretty much a hallway and then the trap that I fell into, pretty much.
That's back up the stairs.
Okay, that's back up the stairs. So we
Yes.
just have this little area.
There's this room that has several small alcoves with items in it that I'm referring to as a reliquary because that's what it seems to be with these relics. There's, from this room, the stairs that led down that you followed. There is the path with the portcullis, now slightly held open. There's also one additional path to its right that turns, and you can't quite see what's down that way, but that's the current situation that you're in.
So Hawthorne would pretty much just start pacing, just for right now, pulling out the bottle and taking a drink of alcohol.
I don't think Karina would have left right away. She would have stayed just on the, just around the portcullis. And she's going to focus on the small bundle and see if there's any sign of movement at all.
Make me a notice check.
I'm going to try my best to wander towards Karina, but avoid stepping in any water. Is it possible to either fly or is there a way to get towards her? Okay, so I'm going to go towards Karina, and then I'd love to try to look where she's looking, and I'm going to cast Detect Arcana.
Ooh,
and
okay.
so I'll be able to detect all supernatural persons, objects, or effects for 5 rounds. And this includes anything invisible, enchantments, people, items, devices, anything like that. So I want to scan where Karina's looking, as well as the entire room we're in, but I'm going to be very careful not to touch the water. I might kind of rest a little bit on her shoulder so that I'm not touching the water. I'm just sort of hovering.
So, I love this. This is your first time casting this power. So 2 things. You will have to make a roll for it, but before you do that, what does it look like when you cast this, when you use this power?
So I imagine I notice Karina kind of focusing really closely on something, and I don't fully remember even what my life was before, but as I sort of focus in on this item that Karina's looking at, there's white sort of sparks that sort of shoot out from my eyes and kind of glisten all around the room, sort of bouncing around. And then as these little sparks kind of bounce around, things that maybe I couldn't notice before, my attention's drawn to them.
Great description. Take a Benny. Now, after taking that Benny, could you please make me an occult roll? You need a 4 here to succeed. If you fail, there are possibilities of problems.
Yes. Okay, let's see. That is a 5.
5. So the power goes off, no problem. These white sparks emanate from Gloria's eyes, mostly because it is vision and seeing this. And no one but Gloria sees the rest, because to everyone else they seem to kind of dissipate. But not for you, Gloria. These white sparks swim in front of your vision like fireflies. And then, in a spiraling swirl, they fly the direction that Nyne pointed out. That breach in the wall. And they outline this thing there. What it is, you don't really have words for. But you know a few things with this power. You didn't get a raise, so you don't learn about its weaknesses. But I will say that you know one thing about its abilities with this. And it's something that is almost medical, more than magical, in that you see how large it is, and it is big. And a part of you can't help but know, oh, if that thing has a mouth, it could swallow any one of us whole.
I'm going to perch a little bit more on Karina and distract her a little. I know she was trying to actively trying to look at something. And be like, okay. So
Gloria, what's wrong?
I can see something that I think is invisible right by that door. And it's really big. I'm pretty sure it could swallow all of us whole. By that cave that Nyne was pointing out.
Did you see anything special about the child, about the bundle on the stone?
That's a really good question. I thought I would, because that's what you were looking at, but I don't think it's magical.
So it's a child?
It's not magical, no.
I got a 5 on my notice check. Would I have been able to notice if that bundle has moved or shifted as if it's alive?
It has not moved one iota.
Okay. I think what we're looking at here is bait. I don't think that's actually a child, and I think we need to get the fuck out of this water, and we need to get out of here.
Yeah, I don't
Because
think we
this
should be in
thing
the
is
water
huge.
at all. I agree with you completely, 100%.
Exactly my thoughts. Like we said earlier, nobody in their right mind keep a baby in a basement and it's flooded and you said motions to Nyne, tentacles. No.
I think we should close this portcullis on our way out so other people do not come through here.
I would like that very much.
I think you guys should get the heck out of there, is what I'm thinking.
I pull my legs a little higher, but then just wondering, what if that bait is actually the baby?
Yeah, that fucking baby is a demon of some fucking sort.
No. I can tell if it's magic, and the bundle isn't magic.
But the bundle hasn't moved, Gloria. It hasn't moved.
Is it alive?
Nothing in this place has been alive.
I think that the thing that's invisible by the tunnel might be alive. I'm getting strong, alive vibes.
Great.
That thing is fucking breathing. That up
Go
there,
ask for a
not
date or
breathing.
something if you really want to go talk to it, Gloria. I mean, fly on over there. I'm getting the hell out of this
No,
place.
I don't want a date from that.
Gloria,
You can do better.
Yeah.
because of the fact that you're flying slightly, you're more hovering than anything, but it gives you another foot or two of visibility compared to just makes you a little bit taller. The lights that you saw, the sparkles, they eventually dissipate from that shape, that thing. And before disappearing entirely, they fly back over to the altar and do just a quick circle and then disappear. You don't know why you know this, because this is the first time you've ever done this. Ever. So you don't know why you understand how this ability works. But you know that it was not something magical, but it was trying to pull your attention towards something on the altar.
Gloria, what do you see?
I feel like maybe we should have questioned more what you and I, why we don't have memories. And I think Hawthorne was hinting at this, but I do feel like there's something on the altar. There's something there. I'm not saying I want to fly over there
We're
necessarily.
not going to. Stay here.
Well, maybe.
I have
But-
a plan.
I get the sense there might be something there. Can I try to just look at it? Now that I've noticed
Gloria?
it. No, I'm not going closer. I just inch a little bit. I'm still holding your arm. Do I see anything?
You don't have dark vision, and so it would require, you probably could make out from here whatever it is if a flashlight is pointed that way.
Yeah, I have the flashlight in my other hand. I'm going to use one hand and I'm actually going to grip her arm now with a considerable amount of force so she cannot leave me. And I'm going to use the flashlight to kind of graze it over the altar so she
Okay.
can look closer.
This would require a notice check, but it doesn't because your attention was drawn to it. Gloria, there are two words that have been carved into the altar. Feed him.
Oh, I can read it. I see it now. Those are words. It says feed him.
Okay, no, we're not going in there.
Oh,
told you,
I bet you
fucking
it's
demon.
feeding the big thing by the door.
Which now you can all hear that shuddering.
We should probably get out of here. It's just occurring to me that
Let's go.
You guys want me to close the gate? I'll close the gate right now. I don't mind. I'll close it on you guys. You guys can stay in there if you want.
No.
I'll close the gate. I really want to close the gate. Let me close the fucking gate.
Hawthorne.
Okay. I'm going to pull Gloria backwards with me, and we're going to leave that room. Go ahead, Hawthorne. close the gate.
Did you see like a weapon up by the baby or something? Is that what you were looking at, Anna Margaret? Oh,
Oh.
sorry, Gloria.
Oh,
What the fuck is that?
you know, I do think
Sorry,
that words can
that what you
often
saw,
be wielded
Gloria?
as weapons. And so in some ways there was something there that could be construed as a weapon. It said feed him.
And then Hawthorne's just gonna... I don't know if we actually have set it in a way that we can close it again, but we're gonna close the gate.
I think we have to go in to close the gate.
Okay. Do we have a poker? Do we have the poker?
Wait. Okay, Hawthorne,
Yeah.
you need to hold the gate open. I will release it and go back through the gate.
I don't want to go to the other side of this room.
You
I'm
don't
staying
ha-
over here.
Well, somebody has to hold the fucking gate open, otherwise it's gonna close me inside.
Look, hey, look, you scaredy fucking cats. I'll hold the fucking gate open.
Oh,
No,
I
don't
can
make that
try.
joke. Don't
I'll
make
try
the
to
fucking
hold
joke.
the gate open.
I mean,
No, I don't know
yeah,
about that.
I love you
Gloria.
so
I don't
much.
know.
No, I
don't
won't step
think
in
you
the
can
water.
hold-
I've changed my mind. I'm
We've
sorry.
got it. We've got it. Okay, Nyne, get the gate. You better hurry yourself up. I about 2 seconds. I'll stand here.
Hold one end of this rope. I'm gonna tie the other end to me so you can pull me back in case something goes awry.
Okay. Here you go. Stand still. Wraps the rope
Brawk,
around. Does
Brawk,
like
are you
a
good?
really tight knot, but not too tight around her, and does another knot, and then another knot. I think that's 3 knots is good. Yeah, 3 knots.
Okay.
How is Brawk doing this whole time?
Not great. So Brawk is just kind of like the more you guys start talking, the more you guys start arguing, he's kind of like backing up. He's holding his jacket really close to himself. He's shaking back and forth. He's trying to stem. He is dry heaving. He is sweating. His hair is sticking to the front of his head, and his eyes are wide. He's crazed, not saying anything, but he's clearly unwell.
So Hawthorne has the rope in his hand. Looks around. Brawk, I need you to hold this rope. Gloria, watch Brawk, okay? Just want to keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Can we
All right.
hurry this up, please? This son of a
Yes.
bitch is heavy.
I'm
Okay.
gonna grab that handkerchief that I told you I had, and I'll put a little bit of like perfume on it and try to like wave it in front of Brawk.
Like smelling salts with perfume. You all
Thank you. So,
You- tie around Karina, have it secured. Hawthorne and Nyne get ready to shoulder the weight again. Karina, you step back in, splashing.
I am just booking shit to the lock, releasing it, and coming back. I'm not looking. I'm not waiting.
Well, then we see
Oh, great.
as Karina
Fantastic.
steps foot back into the chamber that she is able to go unlock the mechanism, and the weight comes back down on Hawthorne and Nyne, and without much difficulty, Karina is able to duck back under, and the two of you, if you want, can safely lower the portcullis back down.
Fuck. Okay.
We can all agree that it
Does
was a
this seem
fucking
little
demon,
too
right?
easy? Do you think
Yes.
we're missing something?
Yes, Gloria, it seemed way too fucking easy. But for once, I'm thankful for that. I think let's get the fuck out of here.
Ace, you good over there? I'm talking to you, Brawk. Ace, I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Do not fucking throw up in this water. Do not fucking throw up in here. Throw up. No, please throw up. Yeah, chill.
Don't step there.
Looked like you needed to get that up. You want some gin?
Most definitely do.
Benny for Brawk and Hawthorne for that interaction. Why is he throwing out Benny's so much? I'm sure it's fine.
Oh, thanks. Yep. Uh-huh.
Nyne kind of just covers the vomit with dirt. Out of instinct for some reason.
Beautiful.
There you go.
With your back foot.
Yep. There we go. There we go.
God damn it, take a Benny for being a cat.
Beautiful.
All right. Let's get the fuck out of here.
As the portcullis is closed, the chanting begins once more.
You know,
That's fucking sus.
This is probably gonna bite us in the ass later on in life, but you know what? That's a problem for future us and not present us. And I'm okay with that.
Hallucinations, group ones.
Brawk, this is 100% real right now.
Nope.
I thought they were actually coming after us, so I'm happy. I'm happy I'm hearing them again. It's like a welcoming sound, strangely.
Delusion is oddly comforting.
Gloria,
Okay.
are you okay?
I just can't. I have to know. Can I go a little? Can I try to look through now that the chanting's back? Can I like try to like poke? Can you point the flashlight at the table? I feel like something might have changed.
Once again, Karina's going to hold Gloria's hand as she gets closer, and she will flash the light through the bars of the portcullis.
Seems unchanged in here.
The chanting is definitely like coming from this room, right?
The chanting is definitely coming from this floor. Where? It's a little, especially with the acoustics of down here, it's a little difficult to pinpoint because maybe there is no pin to point.
Why would it stop when we opened the gate?
Maybe. And he pushes his glasses up and he smooths his greasy wet hair back on his skull. Maybe it is like an alarm. Maybe it wakes it up.
Well, that's a fucking unsettling thought.
Yeah, like most of the things in these walls.
Now, we have looked at most of the places down here, except for that path. Do we wish to go down that path to possibly end whatever the hell is going on here? Or do we want to just turn around, get out, and burn this fucking place to the ground?
Can we even get out? We tried to get out before, and we couldn't leave because of all this fog.
You got a question for you guys.
Hmm.
Does anyone got any fucking weapons? Like, can any of you fight? Like,
I got my billy club and my knuckles, and that's all I need.
what about you three?
I just have this fucking poker I found.
Angel, can you do anything?
Honestly, I
fight.
have no idea. I'm pretty
You-
sure I can fly. Sometimes if I stare at something long enough, I seem to be able to make things happen. Like I could fix that lock. I can see things that are invisible. I have
You
a
are
feeling
fucking
like
adorable.
thanks. I really appreciate it. I like tuck my hair behind my ear and sort of twirl it off.
Right there, Brawk.
It would appear as if I have what appears to be a Colt 1911 in my pocket.
Good, yeah, good model.
Though I don't know if I know how to use it.
Oh, like weapons? I might also have a crossbow.
Oh, you might just have a crossbow. Delicate.
Yeah, it was in my
powerful.
purse.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Oh. Okay. What
So
the
that's
fuck?
taken care of.
All right, then.
But I'm
So-
assuming I probably don't have bolts or anything for it, right? Yeah, no. I'm not sure what it does. Or if we could use it, but
Ethan, do we remember seeing any swords or weapons with the men in armor? With the suits of armor?
They had pikes that they had. Now, whether they're ceremonial or functional, not sure.
Well, What do you want to do?
Are you guys feel underprepared or something? Or do you guys feel unprepared in this situation right now?
I feel unprepared in all situations, to be fair.
That was literally what I was going to say.
Oh, Jinx.
Nyne, why are you asking? Are you thinking we need to fight that thing?
To be honest, I think that might be the only way we get out of this fucking place.
You think it's making the fog?
This fucking place is alive. And when most people, look, I'm not very book smart like most of you, but whenever I hear a heartbeat, that means there's something living. That's usually I know when it stops beating, then I know it's dead. That's beating real loud. And what did you say? It said feed him? And we already seen the bones.
And to note, a reminder, it is the only living thing in this house.
I keep hearing people, so there's got to be something else down here saying something, unless they got a recording, of course.
Yeah.
But also, this kind of seems like a puppet, not the puppet master. It seems sort of like something big that's not making the calls.
That's
but
what
it's
I was
something
thinking.
they're sacrificing with.
Because of that book somebody wrote in that book, somebody was feeding whatever the child has become. And I'm assuming the child's become whatever that flesh monstrosity is.
Cut the fucking strings. What's up, Ace?
And he scratches the back of his head a little too hard. He goes, I can't hear, and his hand starts to shake as he puts it on his forehead. I can't hear over the chanting. Can you?
Can we? Do we hear any other?
Yeah, you can still hear the water. You can still hear each other.
I think it's just getting to Brawk a little bit. You okay, Brawk? I don't think too hard. That's why, it's not bothering me too much.
All I can do is think. All I can do, and he starts going back and forth. All I can do is think. Since we got here, we saw the kids, and then the fog came, and we were lured here. We were lured here. This feed us. We are the feed. And I can't. And he tries to stabilize himself within the stairwell that goes up.
Nyne has walked over to the portcullis again and kind of just put his hands on it and keep this focused on the chanting and the area.
Gloria, could you make me an occult check? This is not for casting a power. This is for your knowledge of the occult. Ceremonies, rituals.
That's a 5.
5, so that's a success. You get the impression, based off of the dais, the tendrils feed him, and the chains. Oh, those chains tell you something. And that is, whomever, according to the journal that Hawthorne found, at least one individual had been, quote, fed to someone. The chains tell you that that individual was alive when it happened.
What are you thinking, Gloria?
So, yeah, I feel like we sort of touched on this, Nyne, and you were mentioning that there's nothing alive in this place, and not to be contrarian, but I was just looking at all of those chains, and that the table said feed him, And if it was already dead, why would they chain up whatever they were feeding? And so I feel like what they were feeding him was alive.
So you're saying we have to feed him something alive?
Well, I have kind of two thoughts. Either, yeah, we could feed him something alive, or maybe we don't have to be as scared of people trying to kill us if they're trying to feed us to him, because we'd have to be alive. So, like, I don't know. I kind of have two thoughts there that, like, maybe we're a little bit more safe, because if we were going to be fed to the monster, we'd have to be alive for that. Or if we want to learn more about the monster, we should probably feed it something alive. Those are kind of the two directions my mind's go.
Brawk passes out.
Oh, oops. Sorry. I was just brainstorming, just like throwing ideas at the wall.
Hawthorne goes over to Brawk and picks Brawk up and is holding Brawk in his arms.
Okay.
I start waving the perfume handkerchief in front of Brock's face again.
So we find another body to feed it.
Somebody else who's alive. Do we even remember seeing anyone alive in this house besides us?
Okay, this is crazy.
Oh, please. No. I will
you
insert
go,
later.
you go.
I insist after you.
No, it wasn't a good idea. I was just thinking, this is not a good idea.
Those are the best ideas in horror games.
Karina, didn't you mention that you thought that the bundle was like lure or like, what is that, bait?
Yes.
Should we try to like bait the monster? Like we're
You're
all
saying
alive.
One of us goes sit on the altar, bait the monster out, and then what?
Oh,
Get
I don't
eaten?
know. We're not exactly equipped to handle the monster, but maybe if we got more equipped so that if we bait it out, we could then kill it or something. Brawk, what do you think? Are you okay? I'm sorry. It was an idea.
So as he kind of realizes and comes to, the oxygen is flushed back into his body after leaving it very abruptly. He realizes he's in the arms of the biggest, strongest friend he has. He kind of shakes off his head. What if there's something else here? And he thank you, my friend. And he puts his feet back on the ground and he pops his coat, straightens it a bit, wipes the vomit off of one of the lapels. What if? So this, and he points at the portcullis, it is the way out. Because that points to roughly where about the front door would have been. Is not. It's just one way. We have to go through it all to get to the outside.
You're saying getting eaten is the door.
No. Ooh. Don't want to get eaten. I'm just saying maybe the answer, the living thing, is that we can feed it. There has to be an answer. This is a puzzle, right? If it's real, it's a puzzle. So we have to find the answer. What if? And he smooths his hair back, sweating copiously. We haven't found it yet.
Brawk, at this exact moment, as you were saying, what if, and your brilliant mind that is hidden under layers of anxiety and fear remembers something that happened. It was so small in comparison to all the other things you've experienced since entering this house that it's no wonder your friends have entirely forgotten it, but your brain, it doesn't work that way. When you were in the attic, or maybe it was the third floor, it was when you were upstairs, you all suddenly heard the sound of something like furniture shifting below you. And what could cause that? maybe it was caused by something else in the house. Maybe. You have only a hunch, no evidence.
So I have 2 hunches. Okay.
I get it.
And he grabs his head and he turns around real quick and he puts his hands on his hips. He shifts them side to side and turns around back to you. Wait! We were in the attic. Maybe we went to the attic, but there was movement. There was movement. We have to find. There's someone else here. There's something else here. We have to find it.
With that, Karina is going to, still holding on to Gloria's hand, turn around and start heading up the stairs.
Shit.
I'm resisting. I feel like we should investigate the voices. They
No.
might be alive too.
No.
You guys, we're just gonna kill anything here? I mean, we barely know who we are, and we're already talking about murder. I thought we were saving
don't know
children.
if
When
it's
did this
murder.
go awry?
No. I think we just need to bait the monster.
With a person?
Perhaps it's an animal or a creature of some sort.
Well, I'm even more against this now.
What if there's like a house centipede? We could find a house centipede and see. You like bugs, right? Sorry,
It could be a rat. It could be a cat. It could be anything.
A cat?
It's it or us. Would you rather you go sit on the altar? Do you want to be the sacrifice? Hawthorne, do you want any of us to sit on that bloody altar and get eaten in front of you?
Can we
walk
like
through?
chop off a hand maybe or something? Toss
Is
the
a
up
hand
there?
alive?
Okay, that's a really interesting question. And I think that it circles back to like what's the definition of something being alive?
She's
And
still
so-
walking as Gloria is talking.
Okay, hold on. I think that there's room for discussion here.
Go, Gloria. Let's go upstairs where it's comfortable. Sit on the couch. Maybe I can find some tea, and we can talk about this where there isn't chanting that is taking up my entire brain. Would that be nice? And he leans over and he gestures for you to walk in front of him.
I'll look at
Please.
you a little closely.
Please,
Has-
Gloria.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And he kind of like cries just a little bit. He bends over and cries as you pass in front of him.
I want to whisper back to Nyne. I think you should maybe keep an eye on Brawk.
All right, I will. He's good people. He's a
I don't
little
think he's in the
nervous.
state for a proper debate. Like I know he wants to talk about what really constitutes as being alive, but like it was talking about it upstairs. I'm not sure now's a good time. Maybe we could like circle back to that discussion later.
You know what? No problem. For you, Angel, I'll do anything. And go. I'll look
Thank
after
you.
Brawk. You're welcome.
I'm gonna kind of pat Brawk and just keep talking.
So, you all once again begin to ascend these earthen stone steps that led you down to this sub-basement. While you're doing so, Karina, you also get a Benny for giving into the horror tropes by going back into the dangerous room. You climb back up these steps. It doesn't take you long. So I have a quick question for you all, and that is, correct me if I'm wrong, but the intent is to leave the basement entirely and return back to the main part of the house. Is that correct?
That's
I'm behind
where Karina
everybody.
is going.
Yeah.
She's going to start on the first floor and open every door.
Well, before we get there, if you all are planning to exit the basement, you're not held to this, but I just want to know for now, you can all always stop at any given time. Are you planning on taking the exact same path that you took through the basement the first time, or are you checking out any additional passageways? I just need to know for narrative purposes.
She's on a mission, so she's going to follow the familiar path and just not turn away from where she has already been as she leaves the basement. Whether or not they follow or not, it doesn't matter. She's not looking behind her. She's just heading straight out.
You get back to that same hallway that had the steps that leads down, that has the now exposed hole in the floor with the spikes where Hawthorne fell previously. With your flashlight, it's no problem for you to simply jump back over it, and Karina is trucking forward. What about the rest of you?
Well, Karina's holding my hand, so I'm also following. But I want to look for signs of life, like especially after what Brawk said. I'm doubting how assured I was that there wasn't something else here. So I'd love to kind of just keep an eye out as we're going. Like peek behind corners, look for little like mouse droppings. I don't know. Look for something, signs of life.
Make me a notice check that will be carried over through the whole basement of this activity. What about the rest of you?
Nyne's keeping an eye on Brawk because Brock's not doing so hot. Hey, Brawk, what are you good, dude?
As he's going up the stairs, he's slowly tugging at his pant leg as they're slipping off his hip, and it's kind of hooking on the front of his shoe, and he stumbles forward a little bit, but he catches himself. Oh, never mind. He's come back again. Well, to be honest, and he reaches back and he grabs your hand where it's okay. You can put me down. And he goes up and he finds the closest chair, preferably oversized for aesthetics, but any chair, and sits, and he just puts his head in his hands.
The closest place to sit down from the lower basement would be back in that dining room with all of the humanoid bones. It's still in the basement.
No. No. So as he gets up out of the stairwell, he's just going to squat against the wall. And he's got his elbows on his knees and his head in his hands. And he grabs his chest as if to catch himself from falling forward. I will admit. And he looks directly at you, Nyne, with all the hopelessness of anyone you've ever seen. I never thought that I would be somewhere like this. I don't know if I'm made of the stern stuff necessary. And he leans forward and he reaches between his legs.
Okay. All right. Come here, Ace. Hold on. Nyne kicks dirt over it.
Thank you.
You're
God, it's so cute.
Look, okay, listen. Look, I've seen your work so far. You stepped into a room you didn't even know about, and I don't know what the fuck you did, but you looked into it and you saw everything in there. Okay, you're pretty smart. You're smart. Look at me. I'm about as smart as a chipped rock. Okay, so look.
You're smarter than that, I'm sure.
No, fuck no, I'm not. Half the stuff Angel's been saying, I understand like 5% of it. I know certain words. She used a big word earlier, and I have fucking no idea what it is.
Wow.
Okay?
First of all, this is a really great way to just kind of like not think about my own thing for a second. But if you ever need any help with words, definitions, grammar, sentences, thought processes, the scientific method, anything like that, you let me know. You've called me more than once. I got you.
Quick interjection here. Gloria, you got a 6 on your notice. You don't see anything, at least in this so far. You've only gotten so far. However, Karina is pulling you along, and you get to that pit in the floor. And right before the pit in the floor, there is another staircase, a small one, going up. Just like 5 or 6 steps that you all noticed previously, but decided to follow the sound of the chanting instead. Because it's up, you don't really see anything. However, with a 6 on your notice, as Karina is pulling you by it, you smell the scent of rot and death from that direction. That's been all over, to be fair. But it is strong, that direction.
Gloria, is everything okay? You stopped. What's wrong?
Maybe we should have Nyne smell up this way. Do you smell that?
Yeah. Should we... I mean, they're taking a few minutes. Should we just quickly take a peek?
Yeah, why not? Like, let's just find out.
Okay. She's going to, once again, kind of pushing herself in front of Gloria again. But still keeping a hand on Gloria and the other hand on the flashlight. She's going to walk up those few stairs. Does it lead to, like, a door or an opening? Like...
So you climb up those first 5 or 6 steps and stop right at the top of them. Before moving forward, what you can see is that it leads to an intersection, a 4-way. Based off of your current understanding of the layout of this basement, you're a fairly intelligent individual, you think that to the left on this intersection heads back to the dining room, which tracks because there was a door on the southern side of the dining room that you didn't explore, so that would make sense. There is also a path that goes straight and then turns, and there was a path to the right. From right here, without standing exactly in the crosswalk, you can't see what's down each hallway. But to answer your question, no door, just a 4-way intersection.
If I were to... I want to do 2 things. Firstly, I want to kind of face each of the different areas and take a sniff to see if I can discern which one is stronger, like where the actual odor is coming from.
Okay. So you're walking to the intersection to try to, like, sniff and see.
I will let go of Gloria's hand and I will slowly ease into the middle of the intersection.
Okay.
When I have my hand back, I'm going to plug my nose.
First of all, Benny to both of you for giving into the horror tropes. Follow the smell of death.
Oh, great.
Second, Karina, as you step towards this intersection with the intent of sniffing and finding the source of the smell of death, when you get to the middle here, Gloria, you watch as right next to Karina's foot, a rotted hand erupts from the ground underneath, and very quickly another hand pulls itself, this humanoid rotting undead thing with flesh hanging from one side of its face and bone on the other. And I need a athletics check from Karina, please. And this is going to be opposed by the athletics check of this thing.
I have a question.
Ask away.
Gloria, did you scream for real, for real?
Yes.
Cool. Did we hear that?
Oh, absolutely.
Brawk screams in response.
Karina, what'd you get?
3.
3. The ghoul got a 4. And
Fuck.
as a result, you are entangled right now. You are unable to move, and you have the vulnerable status right now. So, we see really quickly, we, the audience, see as this hand erupts from the ground, and the undead thing quickly climbs up Karina and begins to grab and wrap around her. Gloria screams just at the moment that a second one to Karina's right pulls itself out of the ground, and we're going to take a break.
Oh, thank God, because that scared the piss out of me.
Hey everybody, Ethan, your resident GM here. We at Go Buff Yourself sincerely hope you're enjoying this episode of the City of the Crimson Tower. And if you are, you should be sure to check out our other actual play, The Wild Beyond. It's a much wackier adventure with a very different tone, but a lot of fun. Our main characters, the Wild Things, set off from the Witchlight Carnival to the Feywild to figure out what exactly is going on there. Alright, that's enough with the advertisements. Let's get back to the show. Gloria just witnessed a rotted, sinewy hand erupt from the clay and earth beneath the ground, pull Karina down. You watched as this ghoul climbed up Karina's body with incredible speed and strength and is beginning to try to dig its overly long, yellowed fingernails and its fang-like teeth, trying to sink its teeth into Karina. And at the same time, you notice just to the edge of your vision, right in the mouth of the hallway to the right of Karina, a second rotted, undead figure pull itself up from the ground and stand, the dust and rubble falling from its shoulders and arms. And so we begin our first combat. We have dealt our action cards, and just so you all know, if you aren't used to Savage Worlds, instead of rolling for initiative, we deal out cards, and depending on the number and the suit, influences when you go. If you get a Joker, you can go whenever you want, even in the middle of someone else's turn. The cards are also redealt each round. So, at the moment, our initiative order stands as Hawthorne, followed by Brawk, then Nyne, then Karina, then Gloria. So, Hawthorne, where were you in relation to these two when you heard Gloria's scream?
So Hawthorne was the last one of them trailing behind, impulsively, pretty much not wanting to go, but wanting to look down every hallway that they weren't going to go down. Then he sees them turn down this hallway. He smells, and he's like, I don't want to go there. So he just leans up against a wall, and then he hears a scream. And so I don't know how far I am away from him, but he would bolt into the hallway towards the girls.
If you were already close to the top of the stairs, then you were only 15 feet away. So totally you can get there. I would run over,
and the first thing Hawthorne will do is pretty much try and separate Karina and the undead guy, either by taking his brass knuckles and just punching the shit out of him, and then pulling them apart.
Well, which of those do you want to do? Do you want to punch? You could also do both. You could punch and try to pull off as a multi-action.
I think it would be a multi-action because I feel like he would be clinging to her so much that he would have to punch him a little to get him to uncling to then separate.
Okay, so the order of your actions, just to make sure I understand, is first you're going to try to punch and then you're going to try to separate, pull the ghoul off.
And I'll be using the brass knuckles with it if that helps.
Absolutely. So first, let's go ahead and roll a fighting roll, and this is going to be against the parry score of the ghoul. The ghoul has a parry of 5.
And will this multi-action be considered one or two actions? We're doing 2 actions.
This is so 2 separate actions, so it will
on this roll.
Okay. -2 on each one. Yes. Do remember your bennies, though. You can re-roll things.
Okay, so that was my fighting one is a 4.
So, as of right now, because its parry is 5, that is going to be a miss. Do you want to re-roll anything?
Yeah, I'll use 1 Benny to re-roll.
Okay. Go ahead and just make that same roll again. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I just checked a ruling here. Because I was wondering about this. Because the ghoul is grappling, it is also vulnerable, which means attacks against it are also made with a +2. So your first roll The +2 countered the -2 from the multi-action, and it was actually a 6, which is enough to beat its parry. So your first attack hits. Go ahead and roll damage against the ghoul's toughness. It's your strength die plus a D4, just for all those keeping track at home.
Oh!
Ooh,
11.
and the D4 exploded. Huge, 11 damage. Its toughness was 6, which means not only did you beat it by 4. So that is going to be shaken and 1 wound against this thing. Could you describe this attack, please?
So Hawthorne, hearing the noise, instinctually just blunders in like pretty much a raging bull in through the way, and then just runs up to Karina, taking pretty much her in one arm and his fists in the other, and just banging it until he can pull one side of the arm and rip it off of her, throwing it down the hallway a little bit.
So for the throwing part, let's go ahead and make an opposed athletics check. Now the nice thing is, because this ghoul now has 1 wound, that is, it is going to make all of its trait rolls with a -1.
It says a 6.
Ghoul gets a 6 with the -1. So you do indeed manage to rip and pull and toss the ghoul to one of the available sides. On the right there, you see another ghoul already standing there. Rotted clothing, rotted flesh, rib bones
I would
visible.
throw it straight to him.
Straight to him? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that it pushes one of them back, so the two of them are now in a line right there. You are no longer, Karina, you are no longer entangled or vulnerable. All right, those were Hawthorne's 2 actions. Brawk, you are up.
Okay, so Brawk, how far away is... So he heard the scream for sure, but is he within, like, line of sight of any of these ghouls?
Not from where you currently are, but if you were to walk up the steps...
I will do that.
Yeah, you can get there.
I am going... At that point in time, while I'm getting a pep talk from Nyne, right? We hear the scream, we both look at each other and dash up the stairs.
Okay.
So
as you get up here,
yeah.
There is one issue, and that is it's a very narrow tunnel, and there is currently Karina, then Hawthorne, then Gloria, then you. And seeing past Hawthorne in a 4 foot wide tunnel is not the easiest thing. You just see like a rotted arm come clawing towards Karina.
The only thing I can do is something stupid. Brawk is going to get up the stairs and he's going to see this chaos, and instinctively his eyes are going to widen and he's going to stand a little bit taller, and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his gun.
You instinctually, and you're not even sure why, before you fire, you take a look at the clip and you see that you have 4 shots.
And as he checks this clip, something switches in Brawk. He feels like he's held a gun before and that he's good at it. And he's going to line up and he is going to wait until shooting.
Okay.
Right when he gets that
and
one.
Are you only making 1 shot?
1.
Okay.
Because everybody's going to go deaf in this fucking place.
This is still going, because of the visibility, this is going to be with a -2. But your target is a 4.
Okay.
With shooting, it's always a 4.
Okay.
But there is a -2.
Okay.
Let's hope you don't critically fail.
Please don't shoot me.
Okay, oh my god. Okay. I'm just so worried I'm going to kill one of you.
You have bennies. That's what bennies are for. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention at the top of this that Karina did spend 1 benny to redraw her action card, which means I have a benny now.
Forgot about that.
Okay. I got a 2, so I'm gonna probably want to spend a Benny to fix that if at all possible.
Sure. I'll take another Benny.
Oh shit!
Worse! It's worse! It's a critical failure!
Oh, no.
You can spend another. I would highly recommend you do.
I gotta fucking do it! What the fuck?
Please don't shoot me, Brawk.
A critical failure, just so all of you watching and listening at home know, in this game is when both the wild die and the other die, that the wild cards, as the PCs are called, if they're both a 1.
Don't shoot me, Brawk.
I hate everything. Bye, guys.
You still have more if you want to keep spending, so you respent. You got a total of, again with a -2, a 1, but it's not a critical failure. Do you want to spend again, or are you done?
If I spend any more Bennies, I can't do anything the rest of this.
Okay.
session.
Could you describe how blessedly this shot doesn't hit any of your friends?
Oh!
But could you describe this shot?
Okay. Well, that being said, I think I can add flavor to this. So Brawk reaches in and he steadies his hand. He's held a gun before. He says, I'm super good at this. And then he waits and he waits and he waits and he waits. And as he waits, the anxiety sets in. The doubt sets in. He starts to shake a little bit. He starts to steady himself with one arm on this wall in this tight space. And his vision falters and he loses sight of who he's shooting.
And the shot just goes a little... It's right at the wall, at the corner intersection. So had it been fired maybe just 2 seconds earlier, it might have hit. But the timing was just off.
But now everyone's concerned because now Brawk has a gun, so...
I mean, yeah. That's concerning.
I'm done. He's gonna just
The
back
GM now
away.
has 3 bennies at my disposal. And it is now the ghoul's turn, one of them. The one that was not previously attacking Karina climbs over its friend, its prone friend, and comes in and tries to attack Karina. So Karina's what is your parry?
Let me double check that. My parry is a 2.
Which means, as long as this guy gets a 2, he's going to hit. This is a feral undead thing. They aren't smart. They also don't know the rules. So he's going to make 3 attacks. So that means each one of these is with a -4. That is a critical fail on the first one. So this thing comes and tries to get at you, tries to attack Karina. And Karina, you manage to drop down as it leaps and comes flying at you, and it rolls over to the opposite side. So there is now one to your right and to your left. But because of that critical failure, I'm going to say that ghoul is unable to get back up in time to make the rest of its attacks this round. That is the end of its turn. That is going to bring up Nyne.
As Brawk fires off the gun, this shit rings. Okay, you know what? It's fine. Where'd you get a fucking gun from again? I forgot. Where'd you get a gun? I thought you knew how to shoot a thing. Nyne's going to step around Brawk and just put Brawk's arm down with the gun. I'm going to go in front of you. Please do not shoot me. And book it towards whatever is not one of his friends or one of his compatriots, and just punch whatever the fuck is not one of us.
Okay, so are you wanting to go to the one that just leapt over Karina to the left, or are you wanting to go to the one to the right? I can say you have just enough movement to be able to squeeze by your friends. Barely enough movement.
I mean, I figured I could just jump over him.
Hawthorne in a 7-foot-tall hallway.
Oh,
He's
fuck no.
taking up all but about 4 inches.
Forgot we're the same fucking height. Never mind.
Yeah, you ain't just jumping in this hallway. You have to
Doing that.
squeeze through, and so you have to make this decision before you even try. Do you go left or right?
We gonna go which way? Hawthorne, which one are you at?
I don't know. I'd go for the one on the right, man. Go for the one on the right.
Go, we're gonna swing right.
Okay. You, with, like I said, just enough movement, you manage to get to the one on the right, which is still prone at this exact moment. And so, were you making 1 attack, 2 attacks, 3 attacks? What you doing? What's your turn?
Oh, it's prone? And we're gonna jump on top of that son of a bitch and keep clawing until it starts making a noise.
So how many attacks?
Just one for right now.
Okay. So, go ahead and make me a fighting roll. Now, because this ghoul is prone, it has a -2 to its parry.
Go. Fighting roll. Let me go. Boom.
A 10, which means you will beat its parry at the moment, or by a raise. So that means go ahead and roll damage and add an extra d6 to it, because you got a
Okay.
raise.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Whew!
18.
18
points of
damage. Its toughness is 6, which means you raise by 1, 2, 3. It only had 2 wounds remaining.
Cool.
Could you describe the first kill of the game?
So, at this point in time, Nyne is worried about the people that he is with. Nyne, as soon as Nyne looks and past them, Nyne sees, not necessarily quintessentially sees red, locks in. His eyes go slant, or the howling cats are ready to kill something. That happens.
I am going to spend one of my bennies to
Okay.
make a soak roll.
Okay, no problem. Do it.
You dealt 3 wounds to this thing. So,
Okay.
1 Benny gone, that puts me at 2. I make a vigor check. I'm going to make this public to you all. 5. Oh, hold on. I forgot because this is, we're using a wild card rule. They also get to roll their wild die. So 5 is the highest. If I only take that, I'm going to spend a second Benny, and that's all I'm going to do, to try to get a raise here. I did not get it. The ghoul in the soak roll absorbs 1 of the 3 wounds, which means you still deal 2, and it still only had 2 left. So it is still incapacitated. So now, describe the result.
You just hear, like you would hear cats fighting, that noise, and bone chips flying everywhere, and just scrape onto the ground, and just heavy breathing of Nyne. This is completely different looking Nyne at this point. He is ready to kill, and he has killed, and he enjoys it. The look on his face, he enjoys it.
Love that. That is awesome. And that is Nyne's turn. That will bring up Karina.
Alrighty. She is standing right next to Hawthorne, right?
Yes, Hawthorne is right behind you. Nyne is to your right. And Gloria's...
And there's a ghoul.
Gloria's just slightly behind Hawthorne. Brawk just slightly behind Gloria.
Alright, and there was a ghoul that Hawthorne just tore off of me by my feet right now?
No, the one that Hawthorne tore off of you just got tossed to the right and shredded by Nyne.
Okay. Where is the other ghoul?
To your left. The one that tried to tackle you and critically failed.
So it's lying on the ground right
It
now.
is prone currently.
Okay, so Karina is going to place one hand on Hawthorne's shoulder, kick up, and try to like double stomp onto the ghoul with her high heels.
Okay, make me a fighting check.
And she's gonna epically fail because it's an unskilled attempt.
You don't have fighting. Oh no. Yep.
I don't have
That's
fighting.
an unskilled attempt.
But he is prone, so it is +2, right?
Yes, so that is countered out. Thank God for exploding dice, though, because your wild die exploded, taking you to 8 total. Its parry is only a 3 right now, or 5, depending on how we're doing the math. So, yes, you hit. Because it was an 8 minus 2. So you got a 6. And
what would I roll for
3.
damage?
This is going to be just your strength.
Okay. That's not
because
very
you
good
don't
either.
have a weapon.
Five.
So in reality, because this is not an attribute test, it's a damage roll, you wouldn't even get the D6, so it is a 3.
Oh. Shit, didn't realize.
No, you did. Foundry did, not you. You did great. So on your damage, you get a 3. The ghoul's toughness is 6, which means that you stomp on it, but it doesn't seem to be too affected by it.
Okay. And that is my turn.
Gloria, you're up.
Question: is it an action to try to deduce something?
That depends if you're trying to, like, examine something or just trying to think.
Do I think it's alive?
Oh, interesting.
I
so
have
that's just
this, like, sudden thought that maybe this could be our sacrifice to the thing.
I would say with the skills that you have,
I'd
could
like
choose...
to think that I also watched, like, a few different, like, turns of this, and I'd love to, if I could have been observing it, like, does it feel alive?
Here's what I'm going to say. You have a occult skill of a D6. You're not unknowledgeable about those things, and you have a healing skill of a D8. The whole visible brain thing on one of them, where you can see that it's partially rotted away and a sickly color, not the healthy color of a brain, and the lack of skin in certain segments, makes you doubt that this would qualify quite as alive. It's clearly not fully dead, but this would qualify as an undead. Now, whether you want to have a semantic argument as to whether undead are alive or not, that's a you thing.
You can kind of see the wheels and the gears in my head turning as I'm, like, going back and forth. Like, is this alive? No, this doesn't feel alive. Like, no, I'll have to talk to Brawk about it later. And so instead, I am kind of, like, fiddling with the things in my bag, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing just attacked us. What do we even do? And I pull out the crossbow, and I kind of, hearing the shot from Brawk, and, like, looking around, like, maybe I do have something. And I noticed that I have, like, a little lipstick cases, and inside there are some little bolts.
If it's a lipstick case, just like these little mini bolts, it's like a Derringer version of a hand crossbow.
I was like, oh, who knew? And so I'm going to load one and attempt to kind of back as far as I can against the wall and take one shot at the ghoul that tried to launch itself at Karina.
So I'm going to say, though, to get an angle at the ghoul that is there, you would have to step up into the crossway, into the intersection. It's only 10 right past Hawthorne. You can scoot past him if you want to do that, but you'd have to move forward a little bit.
Okay, I'll scooch. Okay. I'll scooch to a spot where I can aim.
Okay, so at the moment, this ghoul is still prone, which one of the trade-offs, prone makes them easier to hit physically. It makes them harder to hit from range. So, however, how close are you? Ooh, it has a -4 penalty if you are 3 or more squares away. You are 2. So you're close enough that you don't have the -4 penalty to make a ranged attack on this ghoul.
So I'm in, like, close range, like right over it.
I mean, Karina is right in front of you and trying to stomp on this thing, and so you can just try to shoot right past Karina. How many shots are you going to make?
Just one.
One, okay. Roll to hit, standard shooting roll. Your target number here is 4.
Ooh, 6.
6, you hit. It is not a raise, so it's standard damage, but go ahead and do the 2d4 damage that the mini crossbow does, and each of those dice can explode. But no explosion, a total of 3. You're trying to avoid Karina, and you shoot, and it pierces into the thigh of this ghoul and doesn't even stop its screaming and screeching. Doesn't seem like it did too much. So that then is going to be the end of our first round, and at the very end of this round, Brawk, something grabs the back of your ankle. And a third of these creatures pulls itself up and starts to climb on you. Or try to. So we are going to re-deal out our cards here really quick. Brawk gets a 2 of diamonds. The first ghoul, 4 of clubs. 4 of hearts for the second ghoul. King of clubs for Gloria. 6 of spades for Hawthorne. 10 of hearts for Karina. And 3 of clubs for Nyne, which makes our order for this round Gloria, Karina, Hawthorne, Nyne, and Brawk. So Gloria, you're up again.
Shaking myself off. Like, at least I hit it. Okay. I'm going to go. It's still prone on the ground.
Yes, it is. Hasn't gotten its turn.
Yeah. Okay. I think, I'm looking down and I do only have 3 shots, but it looked like it was jumping my friends. I think I'll attempt to hit. I'll attempt to hit it again.
Do it.
Just
all right.
see if I can do it.
If you're making only 1 shot, then go ahead and roll that shot. No penalty because you're still within the 3 squares.
Okay, so that's an 8 to hit.
A raise over the 4 that you needed. So go ahead and roll the 2d4 damage and you get an extra d6. And with damage, they add together. And they can still explode. A total of 8 damage this time, which beats the toughness of the ghoul by 2, meaning that it doesn't take a wound, but it is shaken. And so currently can't do anything unless it succeeds on a spirit roll at the start of its turn. That is Gloria's go. Karina, you just saw 2 small little crossbow bolts go impacting into this one you're stomping on. The first one didn't do much. The second hits right under the chin, right through and under the chin of this ghoul, so you can see the tip of the bolt sticking out in its mouth as it...
Alrighty. Okay. Totally tell me if this is not okay, but I have a small flask in my pocket, and I'm assuming it's carrying some sort of stronger alcohol. And I also have a lighter. Am I able to smash the flask on the ghoul that's standing by my feet, like the lighter, and take a step back? It is a ceramic flask, so it shouldn't be hard.
Oh, then yeah, you absolutely could.
Okay, then she's going to take this flask. It's probably like just a little one. Take a quick last little sip of it before she throws it down hard onto this ghoul, flicks her lighter, and lights it before backing up.
Okay, this is a thrown weapon, so please make me an athletics check. Your target is still 4, just as it would be for a shot.
Why do you make me do terrible checks that I have not good skills with? That was a 2.
You can spend a penny.
Don't sound so pleased. Yeah, I'll spend a penny.
Thank you.
Okay, let's try this again. Come on. Yes. 7.
7, yes. So you succeed, and we're just going to make a call here. I am going to say, roll me 2d4 for damage here. 6 damage, which is exactly the ghoul's toughness, which means since it was already shaken, it takes a wound. Could you describe what happens here?
She kind of looks a little frazzled, as she's basically been unable to fight back this whole time. Before she remembers something in her pocket, she's gonna pull it out, look at it just for a second, take a quick sip before just throwing it down, as she lights like a piece of cloth on the ghoul, and then she's going to back away to the side with Gloria over here.
All right, Hawthorne, you are up. The next wild card who will be up is Nyne.
So Hawthorne's pretty much watching this sort of office space scenario of these two women just beating the shit out of this ghoul in front of him. And then he hears the screams of Brawk behind him, and so he turns around really fast and rushes back towards Brawk. So what does he see? Does he see him completely entangled?
No,
just like
this
Karina?
one did not manage to get Brawk entangled to the same extent that Karina was. It simply grabbed onto Brawk's leg, and when Brawk stumbled back slightly, it has pulled itself out of the ground and is right in front of Brawk.
Okay, so Hawthorne will run in and in an impulsive move, take his baton and try to baseball the head of this ghoul with as hard as he can, pretty much trying to whack it off this top of its body.
Okay, let's go ahead and make a fighting check versus the ghoul's parry of 5.
Now, will this be a one action, so I don't
That's up to you.
Have any negatives?
If you're only doing the one hit,
Yeah,
then
I'm just
yes,
like-
no penalties.
Okay, if I don't have to run in and rip him off of Brawk, then I'll just run in
Okay.
and swing at him. It's a 6.
A 6 versus the parry of 5 means you hit. Let's roll some damage for your baton.
That's an 8.
8 total damage, which beats the toughness, which would make this ghoul shaken. I am going to, however, immediately... Actually, I'm going to hold on to that strategically, because I should at least see if I make the spirit roll first. So I'm going to hold off on spending a Benny. But you manage to you come, just push Brawk to the side, come in with your baton, clock this thing straight across the head. Teeth go flying against the wall that you just dislodge. Bits of the lower jaw splinter away as you have its attention. And that is Hawthorne's turn. That is going to bring up the ghoul that was closest to Karina. Karina had stepped back. The ghoul is going to use a little bit of its movement to stand. Oh, actually, first thing the ghoul is going...
shaken?
Thank you. First thing the ghoul is going to do is make a spirit roll to see if it can deal with being shaken. See if it can get rid of this. It has also 1 wound, so this is with a -1. Still, that's only a 2. So, I'm going to spend a Benny, and I'm going to get rid of the shaken effect on this ghoul so that it can act. No longer shaken, still 1 wound, gets up, and is going to charge at Gloria. Is going to make... It feels a little gun shy now, so it's only going to make 2 attacks. So these are 2 fighting rolls, each with a -2. And this is versus your parry, Gloria. So here's the first one. A 2 will not do it, I don't think. What's your parry?
My parry is a 2.
2. Meet to beat. It hits. Damage is its strength plus a d4. It didn't get a raise, but it did explode on its dice. That is 10 damage. What is your toughness?
That's 4.
4. So that means that is going to be a raise. So you are shaken and you have been wounded. You have 1 wound. Additionally, could you make me a vigor roll?
Uh, 10.
That is very fortunate. You feel these claws come into you, and there is something that spreads through your veins. You feel your muscles tighten, lock. You, for just a moment, you are unable to control your body and make it move, but through sheer force of will, you shake it off. And now its second attack, also with a -2. Oof. The 6 explodes, so let's see what the total is, for 7. And your parry is a 2, which means this hit you with a raise. So this is going to have a little extra oomph on it. That is 9 damage versus your toughness of 4. Now I want to remind you of something, and that is you can spend bennies to make soak rolls after hearing the damage.
I think I should probably do that.
I think
So there's not like a character death. I'll do that.
Yeah, because we don't if we can avoid it. So that would be I believe a soak roll is a vigor check, please.
So I spend 1 to do a vigor roll.
Correct. You can keep that, which would remove 1 of the wounds, because you got a 4. That is a success. That would take this incoming damage from 2 wounds to 1. Or you can gamble, spend another Benny, and re-roll that. But you can't go back and pick the previous roll if you don't like the new one.
I imagine I'm a pretty cautious person. I think that Gloria's a little bit cautious, and so I think she's gonna stay there.
Okay, so you manage to absorb 1 of the wounds. So you are at 2, though. First of all, could you please make me another vigor roll for the paralysis effect from these claws?
That is a 2. I guess I do have 4 bennies. I can spend 1 to re-roll it. Is that correct?
You absolutely
I think
can.
I will.
That puts me at 3 bennies again.
Okay, 3.
Okay, so you feel your muscles lock. You feel your throat tighten. You try to scream and shout, and nothing except is able to come out. Could you roll me 2d6, please? Oof. That is 9. That is that ghoul's go. We now have the ghoul that is next to Hawthorne. That is going to try to attack Hawthorne. Is shaken. I'm going to, since I have 2, or 3, I'm just going to flat out spend a Benny, remove that shaken roll, and make 2 attacks against Hawthorne here. Here they come. Fighting roll plus a d6. A 4 versus your parry, Hawthorne.
Of a 6.
Whew, miss. Here comes the second attack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. -2 to that, so that is a 9. Luckily, the -2 from the multi-action means it doesn't raise, so no extra damage. Here comes the regular damage to you. A total of 8. What is your toughness, Hawthorne?
7.
Because it didn't beat you by a raise and you don't already have shaken, you are simply shaken. And just as a reminder, you can spend a Benny at any time to remove shaken for free, or at the start of your turn, you automatically get to try to make a spirit roll to deal with it. So, for right now, Hawthorne is shaken. Could you please make me a vigor roll, Hawthorne? As these claws send a toxin into your veins. Vigor is one of your just basic attributes. There you go. 4! Exactly what you needed. You are not paralyzed right now. That is the end of the ghoul's turn. We have Nyne and then Brawk.
Yeah, Nyne didn't like what he fucking saw. So, first off, he's going to run up onto the ghoul that fucked up Angel there, grab him, grapple him from behind.
Okay.
Okay?
Is that your only action?
No,
or
we
are
are
you
not
doing others?
Oh, no, because here's the cool thing about grappling. So, when I grapple, I can also do a crush ability. Is that still in the same action, or is that a second action?
That would be a second action.
That's okay. We're going to fucking do that. Because I want to get him away from her and put him on the other side where I will be in front of her if anything else happens.
I love it. Okay, so the first thing that is going to happen is this ghoul and you are going to make opposed athletics checks. I'll roll this publicly.
Okay.
So the ghoul currently has a 4.
What do I got a -1?
Why do you have a -1? Fatigue.
Yeah. So we're going to spend a fucking Benny to re-roll that.
The fatigue from the fear effect.
Got it. So we're going to spend Benny for that to re-roll that.
Ooh, a Benny.
And we're going to do an athletics check. Another one. There we go. Oh, fucking. God damn it. It is the same.
Oh, but shit. We forgot. You said you were doing 2 actions. That's a -2, which takes you to a 2 right now, which won't beat its 4. Do you want...
Another fucking Benny. Take the fucking Benny. Yeah, take it.
Yeah, gimme.
Okay. So I will put that up there with the multi-action penalty now of doing that. Fucking work. Why do you hate me?
What's your total?
0!
You can spend another Benny. You can do as much as you want.
I'm gonna do one more. One more. Fuck.
Yes!
I'm sorry.
Tough choices.
Oh, fucking damn it.
I love this game.
I need to get
fucking
him
love this
away
game.
from her. That's what it is. Fuck.
All right. I'm sitting pretty at 5.
I'm done. That.
Okay, so with a -1 total on your final one, you come charging in. What I will say, though, is because Savage Worlds has a very kind of loosey-goosey positioning system, and there are no attacks of opportunity, you push Gloria behind you. Which, it's more you push yourself between, because as you try to move Gloria, she doesn't move. And you can... What does move, and you only see for a second, we see longer with the camera, as Gloria's eyes are wide with panic and fear at having no control over her own body in this moment. So even though you are unable to successfully grapple this ghoul, you do interpose yourself between it and Gloria. That is Nyne's turn. Brawk is up.
Brawk still has this fucking thing on his leg, right?
Hawthorne is now between you and it.
Oh, that's... If I drop to the floor suddenly, can I immediately be like at its... I need...
Are you trying to shoot between Hawthorne's legs?
I'm trying to use burst between Hawthorne's legs in a stream, not a cone.
Is that one of the options?
Yes, it is.
Then sure. So if you are using burst, I need you to make a cult check, or not a cult, a power check for me, or which for you, your power was alchemy.
Oh, ooh, yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that.
So please make me an alchemy check.
Don't fuck me. Yeah.
Boom. 7. Success. No problem. So now that we know the power goes off, this is your first time using this power. And this is the first time a power has been used where the trappings are not only interesting narratively, but could actually have an impact throughout the rest of the game. In Savage Worlds, with the powers, with things like Burst, you get to choose what it looks like. Is it fire? Is it ice? Is it acid? Is it poison? And whatever you choose is what it will stay, unless you use a feature in the game to change it. Which means if you choose fire and use it in the future against something that is weak to fire, awesome. But it also means if you encounter something that is resistant to fire, that is what your ability now is.
Is there like, I want this to be like, for him, when he pops it off, I'll narrate it here in a second, but for him, I want it to be like this beacon of joy. It's like joy in a bottle, and he fucking, like radiant? Is there like a radiant equivalent? Like a happy sunlight. It's a laser.
Absolutely. What do you want? This is the collaborative part. You tell me.
Okay, so I want it to... So as he immediately drops to the ground, he instinctively reaches into his pocket and he pulls out this vial, and it has no color, but the moment he flicks off the cork, it starts to... You get like the sun is rising in it. And at the highest point in the sky, it erupts from the jar in a straight line right at the face of this ghoul.
That is fantastic. Please take a Benny. And roll me 2d6, please.
4.
4 damage. It blasts into... But you described this as sunlight, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to hurt. I mean, it seems to hurt the ghoul a little, but that's not the main effect that you notice. As you unleash this, the ghoul in front of Hawthorne, because it is sunlight, the ghoul now has, for the next turn, the distracted condition, which gives it a -2 to all of its trait rolls. Hell yeah. All right. That then brings us to the end of that round. And let's go ahead and re-deal out some cards. Oh wow, we have to reshuffle the deck. We've dealt out enough. Did anyone get a joker? No jokers. However, we got 2 aces belonging to Hawthorne and Karina. So our order for this round will be Karina, Hawthorne, Brawk, Gloria, and Nyne. Karina, you're up. Right next to you, right in front of you, is Nyne. To your left, a little bit down the hallway, or right at the mouth of the hallway, is Gloria, looking rictus. And right next to Nyne is one more ghoul. You can see that across past Nyne, down the hallway and towards the stairs where you came, Brawk and Hawthorne are struggling with another ghoul. What are you going to do?
Are you able to move after you attack, or do you
Yeah.
have to move and then?
No, you can do it
Okay.
in between attacks. You can do it whenever you want. It's a free action in Savage Worlds.
And would pulling somebody with you be a action or anything along those lines?
It would be an action. If it's a willing person, it'll be a lot. You won't have to roll.
Okay. So she is going to swing out with her fire poker, because that's what she has, and she's going to attempt to hit the ghoul. And then after that, she's going to take Gloria's hand, and putting herself between the danger and Gloria, she's going to move back as far as she can to like one of the corners of this intersection.
Love it. Okay, so the only one of those we need to roll for will be the attack. So this will be with a -2.
All right, with my unskilled attack. Do I even bother if I have a D4 and it's a -2?
If it explodes, that's the thing.
Right. Okay, that's the only way it will actually work.
Yes, you need the D4 to explode in order to hit.
Okay, good to know. That's probably pretty classic.
And just so you all know, those of you who haven't played these systems, what explode means, it's also called ace. Whenever a die in Savage Worlds rolls the highest value that it can, a 4 on a D4, 6 on a D6, etc., you get to then roll that again and add the total together, which means, theoretically, you could roll a D4 and get a 100.
That ain't gonna happen. Let's see. We got a -1 on the attack, but I'm still gonna pull Gloria back.
That's all right. So you're basically using the poker less with the intent to hit and more just to make sure that it doesn't get to you and Gloria in this moment. And you push Gloria back a little bit down to the right on the intersection. So now there is the ghoul, Nyne, you, and then Gloria. But this, I do want to know, Karina, and I want to know Gloria, actually, in this moment. The two of you have formed a quick bond, even without knowing much about each other yet. And I want to know, Gloria, first of all, how it feels to be trapped in your own body. And Karina, I want to know how it feels to see Gloria in this condition, see her eyes flicking back and forth in panic and yet not moving, just this rasping. Gloria.
I imagine that at this moment, I'm so panicked, I'm not really sure I know what to think. I think that there's lots of things you can prepare for. And I think in this moment, I don't even know.
Benny. Karina.
So, Karina does not know why, because she does not remember her past. But she has this aching sense of dread, especially after watching Gloria get attacked, get damaged, and being unable to do anything to help with it. And that dread is just weighing so heavily on her body that there's only one thought going through her mind, and it is to protect Gloria.
And a Benny for Karina as well. That brings us to Hawthorne.
Well, since Hawthorne's shaken, I think I need to do a vigor roll.
Yes, that is the very first thing you'd need to... Oh, I'm so proud of you. Very first thing you need to do is make a vigor roll to see if you can break shaken.
A 4.
4. No longer shaken. What do we see just really briefly as Hawthorne shakes off that hit?
So you kind of see Hawthorne sort of hunched over with a knee down. And he's like shaking off everything and slowly looking up. And he's looking around sort of at everybody behind him and can hear what's going on. But he looks straight forward and has gotten just enraged and really peeved with this freaking ghoul. So Hawthorne's going to, in a full rage, scuff his foot a little and then just straight try and ram this thing with its horns and I don't know how tall the ceiling is, but he may hook him up and just slam him against the ceiling if need be.
Okay, that is so cool. I'm going to give you a Benny ahead of time. And let's go ahead and make that fighting check. And remember, oh no, it's distracted, so it makes a -2. Got it.
It has a -2.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I was like... So would that count as 2 actions, me, if like, I hook him with my horns and, like, pull him upwards?
Only if you are wanting to try to attack twice. If that's purely narrative, then it's a single attack. If you're wanting to actually try to do damage twice, then that would be 2 actions.
Let's try the damage twice. That was my main objective, just because he has a -2, so I could counteract the fact that he has a -2 already, because then I wouldn't have the -2.
So,
right?
to be clear, his -2, or the ghoul's -2, are for rolls it makes.
Okay.
So it wouldn't impact
counteract
you
mine.
attacking it. It would just be
Okay,
a
let's
-2.
just do it. Okay, we'll just do a one
Okay,
action then.
so
One
that'll
action.
just be narrative if you hit. So let's make that fighting roll.
Okay. It's a 5.
And its parry is a 5, so you hit.
Yes.
And like you said, you slam, let's roll damage, actually. Because we have to do that first.
Okay. Ooh, I'm pretty high.
Yeah, your horns do pretty good damage.
Go, horns, go! 15. 15, baby! I'm getting horny!
15. Yeah. Could you please describe to me this, exactly what you do, with the knowledge that by the end of it, this ghoul will be broken into multiple pieces, and any semblance of undeath that was carried in its form will be gone.
So Hawthorne, being shaken, shakes it off with a like, and then just does, with one hoof, pulls like a raging bull, and just air coming out of his nose, charges at the ghoul, dipping his head at the last second, and scooping him up, shoving him against this crick in the wall, and just slicing into him, twisting his head as he stares up at him.
You just, with your horns, pin in such a way that as you rotate your horns, it just breaks this ghoul like a dry piece of straw in your hand. Just, and it falls to the ground in pieces and dust and bone meal. Whew. All right. That will then bring up the one remaining ghoul, who is right across from Nyne right now, who is Nyne stepping in between it and the others, attempting to grab and grapple and do all of that. So, this ghoul here is going to try to make 2 claw attacks against you. So each one of these is going to be with a -2. First one is a 2. I assume that misses you, Nyne.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Just rips my shirt a little bit.
It already has an additional -1 because of the wound on it, so it has a total of a -3 here. And with that -3, a 1. So, could you describe how you managed to not get injured by these 2 attacks?
So at this point in time, something in Nyne clicks when he's 1v1ing this ghoul. He can kind of see the motions of his actions and kind of just instinctively dodge out of the way, counter it a little bit, like knock it out of the way, move again, as if it's second nature.
Benny for that, as you just kind of bash and just block these attacks in a way that feels not natural. Nothing about this situation is natural, but it feels second nature. That is going to bring Brawk up, Gloria's on deck, and then Nyne.
Question. So, if Brawk, so he's on the ground, right? You know?
Right.
If he were to flip real quick onto his hands and knees and scuttle over to Gloria, could he do that? without being, I don't know, kicked in the ribs or claw in the back.
Looking like the Exorcist.
Oh, no, I haven't like that. I'm upright. More like a kid chasing after like a toy car.
So I just want to make sure I understand what you're trying to do. You basically just want to push past all of your friends and get to Gloria?
Go through the legs, push past the friends, slap against the wall, and scuttle over to Gloria.
What else are you wanting to do?
Heal her.
With the healing action or with
I
a
have
power?
a power.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that yes, you're able to crawl between their legs to get there.
Gotta get there. Okay. Ooh, I'm in the really big black. Okay, so healing.
You're going to make another check. Another alchemy check.
Alchemy check?
Anytime you use a power
Is alchemy.
Okay.
Yeah, 8.
Easy success. In fact, it's a raise.
Woo! What does that mean? That means I get to do more healing. Hold on. A raise removes 2.
So, could you, again, describe what this looks like?
Okay, so he's scuttling across. Gotta get there. And he when he gets there, he sits up on his knees. And he starts rifling in the outside pocket, and he pulls out a vial that has like a almost triangular stopper in the top of it. And as he twists it clockwise, a little spiral of radiant light, looks like life, opens up in this bottle, and as he pops the cork off, as he's reaching it towards her, it just gets absorbed into Gloria's body. No liquid, no smoke, nothing. It just
Very cool. And that means, Gloria, you can remove 2 wounds. Yeah. You still have the paralysis effect going on right now, but you are no longer hurting nearly as bad. Do me a favor, Gloria, and roll me any die. But before you do, pick evens or odds.
Even.
Not you.
Even.
Damn it. All right, roll any die. Odds. Still paralyzed.
Oh, okay.
However, not dying or nearly as bad. So these huge claw marks, we just watch as after Brawk does this, they just start to knit closed. Your clothing's still torn where it clawed through, but no more blood pouring out, and you are healed. That will bring us to Gloria, who at the moment, I will say that healing does allow you to regain the function of speech. So if there's anything you want to say in this moment, you can.
Yeah, so since I know about healing as well, is this something that now that I'm more aware of myself, I could try to like make a healing check to see like what's happening? Why am I paralyzed?
Oh, just to try to understand it?
Mm.
Absolutely. Make a healing check.
Oh, a 3.
So, this opens up something interesting. You don't have the full... Your brain and thoughts are fuzzy right now. And I again just want to know, for someone like you, Gloria, even not knowing your past, your brain, your mind, how does it respond to feeling clouded, feeling like your thoughts and your logic are locked behind a door and out of your reach? How does that make you feel?
I think that while I was scared before, I find myself kind of filled with this ice cold panic. What's scarier than knowing yourself, being able to control your arms? Like, that's one thing. But losing your mind? I think that this is probably like the worst case scenario.
And given that, and given the fact that your vocal cords have unlocked, do you make any sound? Do you say anything?
What is there to say?
Fair enough.
If I don't even know myself, I don't say anything.
So, Nyne's is gonna swing at this fucker in front of him.
Once?
Once. No,
Okay.
we're not doing that stupid shit again. We're just doing once.
Okay, roll to hit.
I do a fight check or fighting, right?
Fighting, yes.
All right. Fucking multi-action bullshit here. The fuck is that, a 1?
You have bennies. And we're nearing the end of the session.
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, god damn it. I hate this shit. Fucking swing, you big cat bastard. There's a 3 hit.
A 3 is still going to miss in this moment.
Well, fuck
As
it. Whatever.
Nyne and the ghoul are just trading blows back and forth, neither one able to get a real grip on the other. And right now, just because of the time and everything, we're going to stick with the current action order. And so instead of dealing them back out again, Karina, you are up, and then Hawthorne.
Okay, can I notice that Gloria is freaking the fuck out?
I very much assume that you are splitting your attention between the ghoul and Gloria. So I would think, Gloria said she didn't say anything. Just really quickly make me a notice check. And we're going to use that, and Gloria, you're going to tell me, based off of what Karina gets, how much she's able to get from you. Just from that.
7.
A total of a 7. Not quite a raise, but really good.
Even in the brief kind of day you've known her, Gloria almost can't help saying whatever thought that crosses her mind. She wants to be aloof and nonchalant, but is the most chalant. Will say whatever, like, it always tumbles out. So I think maybe not saying something is maybe more poignant than anything she could have said.
Then she's going to turn her back to the ghoul and block off any view Gloria would have of the ghoul, if possible.
Of course, yeah.
And then she's going to place both her hands. I don't know if, like, what sort of action this would or role this would be, but she's going to place both her hands, like, gently on the sides of Gloria's face, just comforting, not like kind of creepy or anything. And she's just going to whisper to Gloria, "It's going to be okay. Ground yourself. Ground yourself. It's going to be okay." And she's just going to, like, try to persuade her to calm down and, like, focus on the present rather than panicking.
There's no role for this, because this is purely a inter-party roleplay thing. However, I am going to give you a Benny for that, Karina.
All right.
Do we, or does Karina, notice any change in Gloria in that moment?
I'll try.
And it just comes out as this tight voice. All right. That brings up Hawthorne.
Okay, so Hawthorne's gotten just pretty mad in general. He's taken out one guy, and he's kind of seeing red now. He's going to be impulsive in this moment because he kind of just killed one guy. How many people would I take out if I charged this next guy with my horns?
I would say that you would have, all you'd have to do is give a pretty hard shoulder check to Nyne if you're charging. But because this is a very cinematic game, I would also say that if you shout out your intent, then Nyne would be able to step back in time.
Okay, so Hawthorne just turns, sees that this ghoul is still alive, and he thought that this freaking thing was going to die with them burning him. And so, in a straight anger, he's like, move! And he just starts charging with all of his might to hit him with his horns.
Nyne, what do you do when you hear that shout?
Nyne will hear this and keep the ghoul distracted until I count the fucking footsteps that is fucking raging bull coming at me, and then just be like, hey, guess what? Tag in!
Fucking love it. Benny to you both for that description, as just keeping him focused and just jump right out of the way. And as the ghoul turns and its gaze follows you, it is distracted, meaning that Hawthorne, you will have a +2 to hit. Or it's vulnerable. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's vulnerable, which means you have a +2 to hit. Yeah, just
so
roll
do
your
I add that
fighting.
to
Just
fighting?
roll your fighting as per
Okay.
usual, and we'll just add 2 to it. Oh,
Ooh. Okay, 7. So
+2,
9.
9, and its parry at the moment, because of is a 5, which means that that is a raise. So you will deal your horn damage plus a d6.
13.
13 damage. Its toughness is 6. It already has 1 wound, which means that it is shaken and takes its second wound, and this one only had 2. Can you describe? I would love both of you to participate in describing this tag team obliteration of this final ghoul.
So I start scuffing, and I am getting angry, and I'm like, move!
At this point, Nyne is just boxing, blocking, is doing whatever we can for this damn thing. I hear the move part. Keep going. Focus on me, you undead fuck. Focus on me. And then
Boom, 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 boom.
and Dempsey roll out of the way and flip it off.
I'm going to say that, so as you step out of the way, flipping it off, it is so focused on you that it actually steps out into the intersection, right next to Nyne and Karina, while still focusing on you, Nyne, and doesn't even notice the... How tall are you, Hawthorne? 6'7"?
Yeah, I'm about 6 to 7 feet tall.
The Minotaur that is taking up almost the entire hallway, that is charging, lowers your horns, and you just pierce through it, and you charge with so much intensity that you barrel into Nyne, the 3 of you falling together as this thing just breaks into pieces. And there are no more of these ghouls that you can see. Gloria.
You okay, Nyne?
I just
Yeah.
want to say, Gloria, that out of character so that you know and you can play this, your paralysis will last, your character doesn't know this, you know this, about another 90 seconds.
I was just wondering if Nyne was okay. Are you all okay? Brawk, are you okay?
Gloria's not moving, and he just puts his hands, like gestures over her. She's breathing, but she's not moving.
Deep breaths. Just take a deep breath, Brawk. It's gonna be okay. Nyne, are you here? Karina.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Karina is not going to answer. She's just still going to be silently looking at Gloria.
Gloria! And he's gonna wave his hand in front of her eyes.
And at that moment, Gloria, have you ever done those full body, like muscle tension things in an attempt to relax, where you tense every muscle in your body and you hold it really hard? And then when you release, you've been, without any intent, your muscles have been contracting as hard as they can for the last 80 seconds. It's a subconscious thing. You weren't focusing on it. You weren't holding that tension. And then without warning, all of that tension disappears and you drop to your knees.
I think Karina would drop with her because she's like holding on to her, so she would follow her down to the knees.
And I think Brawk would, behind both of them, just put his back to Gloria's in case she loses it and wants to fall back.
There's like a pregnant pause. But after a moment, I turn to Karina and then look back at Brawk. Thank you.
Nyne and Hawthorne. The two of you are covered in fragments of rotted skin and bone and teeth and long coagulated and blackened blood. But you also see that as the two of you tumbled down the hall a little bit, you tumbled into another room. And the room around you, you haven't been in this one before, is covered, well, not covered, but there are multiple moldy skeletons that hang from rusted shackles against the walls, their mouths hanging open in still, silent screams. One of these corpses has rotted so badly that its arms and upper half still hang from the shackles while the rest of its body is bones beneath. There are two things that catch your eye, Nyne, because Hawthorne, the flashlight that Karina was holding was dropped when the fight started. It's been picked up now, but you still have your own, Hawthorne. Do you pull it back out and start using it, or are you not there yet?
So Hawthorne, as soon as they rolled into this dark area, would instantly pull out the light to see like where they were, and looking around, he would get freaked out as soon as he saw the skeletons though, and sort of start crawling back towards the door, but just watching them to make sure they don't turn into ghouls.
Got it.
I think after a moment, I turned to Karina. I think before I was worried that we would like lose our lives. I'm worried that there's more we could lose here. I'm worried we might lose our minds.
Already there.
At that exact moment, we cut back to Nyne and Hawthorne. Gloria, Karina, and Brawk having this exchange just feet away in the tunnel. But as Nyne is there and Hawthorne turns his flashlight back on, there are a number of things in addition to the skeletons to see in this room, but there is one that catches both of your attentions. And it's in a wide alcove in the wall directly opposite the way that you came. And it is a painted wooden statue in the likeness of a gaunt, strong-faced, pale woman wearing a voluminous black cloak, her pale hand, her left hand, resting on the head of a carved wolf that stands beside her. And the statue's right hand holds in it a smoky gray crystal orb. And the painted gaze of this statue looks down directly towards the two of you. It doesn't move, but it's as if it knew you would be there and there is a cold, knowing glint to its eye. And we will come back there. Thank you for listening to this episode of The City of the Crimson Tower. Gloria was played by Anna Margaret, Karina by Matty, Nyne by Mav, Hawthorne by Sally, and Brawk by Lauren. Your narrator was Ethan.